Hi everybody, all my followers, be welcome to another video. Right, I was not to record this video. I've done a couple jobs on this car, which you most likely have seen by now. They went for the door, for the coding, and on one of those I actually mentioned the main reason why the car came here. And I was not to record it, but now that I have found the problem, not because I found the problem now, but I just thought it would be interesting to actually share this with you guys. Even if only one person is going to take some information or is going to help one person, that's already good for me. So I decided I would share this regardless. So let me take you through the main reason why this car came to me. So the owner of this car bought this car as an on-runner. I already explained this on the other video, but obviously this is the video we're going to go for now. So I will explain it again. So the owner of this car bought this car as an on-runner. Long story short, the car had the wrong starter motor. It was that simple. So the starter motor was grinding on the flywheel, something like that. Anyway, he put the right starter motor, and the car started fine, and it drives fine if you don't let the car to idle. So if you start the engine and you drive off straight away, the car drives fine, and you can do, the guy told me, you can drive as long as he wants, and the car drives spot on. However, sorry guys, I have a phone call. Okay, so not sure what I was, but I think I was saying that, so the car would drive fine, you could drive for as long as you want, no problem. However, if you come to a stop, like traffic lights or intersection or whatever, sometimes, depends for how long you'd stop, the car will go into limp mode. Now, I know exactly what's going on, and I'm going to take you through. But basically, that was the problem. So the car would drive fine, blah, 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 no problem. Now, this car, when he bought the car had the EGR removed and DPF removed. And the interesting thing was no codes coming up on ECU. So the car would go in limp mode and no codes would come up. And it was a little bit tricky to figure out what was going on. You could still, through the live data, which is what I've done. But what I've done is I've asked ecutech, Chris. I will leave a link in the description below for his page. I asked them, and he had so he sent me a original file for this car, obviously remapped accordingly to the car as the car is now, but with no DTCs deleted. So basically what they did was, on the original car, on the original file the car came with, the DTC table was deleted, basically. So the car was going to limp mode, but was not throwing any codes because the DTCs were deleted. That simple. So, once I had this new file on the car now throws a code. And I'm going to show you the code. Okay, so that's my code. Okay? 7786 or P2563. Implausible signal. Now, what I want to show you is, I could just bring these down and show you exactly what's going on over here if I drop this down, but I'm going to show you this slightly different, which is here. So we're going to go to going to go here. Right, so here we are. So what I want to show you here, so basically guys, this is why I think it happened. So someone obviously deleted the DPF and the EGR on this car, remapped the file, put it on the car, and the car was going to limp mode. Now the car was going to limp mode, as I said and repeated myself, the car would go limp mode even idling. Even if I do it now, if I clear the codes and I start the engine, you're going to see in a minute, but the engine drives fine, the engine runs fine, and then within, like, I don't know, maybe a minute, you can hear the engine tone changing. that's when the turbo goes to the that's when the turbo goes to the open position, change from closed to open, and obviously the engine tone slightly changes, and once it does that, now the glow plug light starts to flash and it throws that code. So I think what they did was they remapped the file, whoever did that, and then they were having this problem. And then rather than figure out what to do, actually, let me say something else. The turbo actuator, actually the entire turbo looks like it's new. Okay? So maybe they have put a turbo at this issue, and what they did is they delete the code. Don't ask me why someone would do this, but it looks like that's what they did. And I'm going to show you now. I'm going to clear the code, because if I leave the code in there, the car is not going to close the turbo. So I'll have to clear the code. So I'm actually going to go back again and clear this code, and then I will start the engine quickly, and I will show you exactly what's going on. Come here again. So the first thing I wanted to look at, so that's the offset closed value, that's the offset open value, that's the actuator. Let me stretch that so you can read everything. Okay, so that's the activation. I'm not sure what the status is in there, but whatever. And then we have the actual reading from the sensor. Okay, so as you can see, the minimum value you can go to when it's fully open is 0.5 volts, 0.498 is 0.5, but that's nearly half a volt above. Okay, which is okay, is within the value, so it's fine. The fully closed, which is when you start the engine, the turbo fully closes, is on 3.5 volts. Now I'm going to start the engine, and you're going to see where that value is going to move to. So I'm going to start the engine. You're going to see that there is no lights, no nothing, okay? But look where that value goes up to. Usually goes, there we go, 960. Usually stays at 960. So as you can see, this value right now is above the maximum value that the ECU is expecting. So if I throttle the car now like this, I can keep that value below 3.5. You see, that's why if I would drive off straight away, the car would drive okay. And if I didn't stop for too long, because it takes a few seconds for the ECU to actually trigger the code, it's not straight away, it needs to see that value for more than a few seconds, whatever time is set on ECU. So if I didn't let the car to idle for that long, so I can keep that value there, and the light will never come on. But the moment I let it to idle, and that value goes there, as you can see, 3960, well above that, which is pretty much alpha volt. So the alpha volt we have too much when it's fully open, is alpha volt we have too much when it's fully, so we just need to move that the other way around. There we go, and it triggered the fault. And if I go now to the ECU, we have a fault in there, and the car is in limp mode right now. You can't hear the changing on the tone, I can, but yeah, that's basically what is happening. So the answer was right there on the live data, and someone completely missed it. So yes, I do agree that without the code was very difficult to go for it. So it could be as well, guys, that whoever did the remap deleted the DTC tables by mistake. It could have been that. And without the car throwing the code, it was very difficult to go and diagnose what the problem was. You could still go through the live data and figure out this. But yeah, as soon as I had the right file, throwing the code, the code I've just showed you, I came here on the live data, and it's quite self-explanatory to see what's going on. So obviously the turbo now, you stop seeing the value, because at the moment the turbo has been the ECU goes into limp mode and deactivates the turbo, and when it deactivates the turbo, it fully opens the turbo again, and as you can see, it goes down to 0.913, which is the turbo is not in function anymore. So what I'm gonna do now is we're going to adjust the turbo, try to bring the reading to within these brackets, bring this value to in between 0.498 and 3.5, and that should keep us the car running okay. So let's gonna try to do that then. Okay, it's already done. Well, we'll have to test, but I already adjusted it. Checking with my vacuum pump, I retract the rod and adjusted it so the values are within the parameters. There is a stopper, a leer bolt in there. The rod on this actuator is not adjustable, so I can't touch that, but there is a stopper in there, a leer bolt. You can't really see it now, but there is a little screw underneath there which stops the lever. But the way I did it, which usually you can do that, this bracket here that holds the actuator is on the slots, so you can always move this up and down a little bit, and that's how I did it. So we're gonna start the engine now, and we're gonna see which values we have. So it should be, it was about 3.4 when I was testing it, but obviously I then had to, I hope that the rod was fully retracted. So let's gonna try this again. So let me start the engine. That went down to 0.6, don't know if you've seen that as well. There we go, 3.403, 3.4. So I'm gonna leave it, so 0.1 volt, I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna touch now. Let's the engine idle for as long as we are gonna leave it for about 5 minutes. The light, as you've seen on the previous clip, the light comes on, or when I showed you, the light comes on within like a minute or so. So we're gonna wait here a few minutes. Right now is 12:02, so we're gonna wait 5 minutes or so and see what happens. Okay, and the car is now here idling for 6 minutes. No lights, and I'm guessing no codes. That's from before, of course he is. Okay, I'll have to, yeah, as you can see, one fault found, intermittent, so he's not here anymore. I haven't cleared the codes from last time. Let's clear the codes. Oh, sorry about that. I will not show you nothing. But yeah, as you've seen, the light was not flashing anymore. I should have cleared the codes before. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go for a drive and see how the car drives. See if we have boost, if it's running okay. And I guess I'll get back to you in a minute. Okay, and came to these back roads. Been driving for about, no, that's not right. Is now past 20, so I'm driving for about 15 minutes now. Stopped a few traffic lights, intersections, until I get to these back roads. Came to these back roads purely so I could floor the car, so I could see if at open throttle or close to the red line, whatever, fully revs, if would trigger any faults, or if he would fail, whatever. He's running absolutely perfect, no issues at all. No lights came back. Just gonna quickly scan the car again, see if there's anything there, but shouldn't be, I guess. There we go, problem fixed. So in the end, quite simple, quite easy really. Don't know if this is gonna help anyone out there, but yes, hope he does. So yeah, in the end we didn't really have to touch the stopper. We just, on those slots on the bracket, we moved that so you would get within the right voltage. And that's it for this video really. What else to say, guys? Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope there's some information here you can find useful, that it might help you. If you do still have any questions, any comments, please put them below. And like always, thank you for watching. Oh, I need to take these off. I really need to take these off.